Hey guys, and welcome back to Free Plugin Friday, where we look at free plugins you can use in your productions. Now today we are looking at a much requested plugin, and that's Analog Obsession's SweetVox. Now SweetVox has just had a revamp, so I thought we'd take a little bit of a look at it. It's going to be a very quick review because it's a fairly simple plugin. So it has two main controls, process and de-ess. Now process pretty much does EQing, compression, some enhancing, I think some saturation as well. It does all the work. And de-ess is a de-esser, and I think it goes a little bit beyond that in that you can really control the high frequency with it, and then there's an output control. So super simple. We have a track here from Team Love called Mean. I mixed this a couple of years ago. Was never 100% happy with my mix, but that's just me. It's always hard to be happy. But go check it out on all major streaming platforms if you like the song. So we're going to listen to it first dry. I've just got a little bit of meta-tune on it, and that is it. And then go through the controls on SweetVox.
And I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. This might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your place.
So that is that kind of intro chorus kind of thing. So let's turn on SweetVox. What we're going to do is solo the vocals. I'm going to turn off the send as well, so you've just got the dry vocals. So let's dial in the process.
I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean.
There's some pretty extreme compression going on.
And this might mean that you get
That's
lost
way too much for these vocals, obviously. I'm guessing when you're just getting the red light on, that's hitting the threshold. So let's just go for a little bit of that.
And I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. And this might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your place.
So you can hear it's compressing, it's doing a little bit of EQ, it's changing the mid-range a bit. It is sounding a little bit kind of constrained as I turn it up. So I think there's an easy fix to that, and I've already kind of pre-prepared it because I've used this plugin a little bit, and that's Infinity EQ. I think the thing with a plugin like this, it is very simple, but you still need a bit of low-end roll-off and maybe take out some of those frequencies if the recording has them in there, especially if it's triggering the compressor. So now I've got Infinity EQ on. Let's turn SweetVox off and turn it back on and have a listen.
And I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. And this might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your place.
To me, that is sounding a little bit more open than before. Now, I'm going to make sure some of these plugins are off because I am getting a few clicks and pops. It is a fairly big session, and yeah, sometimes my computer using OBS doesn't like it. It's something to do with Cubase and multi-core support. It's really strange. It's kind of a new thing that's happened. Like my CPU is only like 20%. Yeah, it still seems to struggle. But anyway, let's have a look at that de-ess. So we'll turn the process off and see. We don't need a lot of de-essing on this vocal, but we're just going to see what it does.
And I've been mean. And I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. And this might mean that you get
Some of
lost
those S's we're trying to get rid
along the way.
They aren't that
Well,
speedy
I'm
though.
sure there's someone else who can take your place. And I've been mean to you, and I'm not sorry.
So it is doing a bit of compression as well.
And I'm probably gonna be mean again. And this might mean that you get lost somewhere.
Let's go back to this bit where it's
And this might mean that you get. And this might mean.
like the S on the this.
And this might mean that you get. And this might mean that you get lost.
It reduces it, but it is compressing it like everything together. What I might do is drive up the high end to see if we can trigger it more on the high end. So like we're kind of putting more sibilance than would normally be there.
And this might mean. And this might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit more effective there. Obviously, that doesn't sound great because I've just boosted up a bunch of highs. But I think if you do have a little bit more sibilance, this was a fairly dark mic and someone isn't very sibilant and their range is kind of a bit lower, so it's less needed. But definitely some compression going on there too, which could work. So let's add some process and some DS together and kind of compensate with the output.
And this might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your place. And I've been mean to you and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. And this might mean that you get lost somewhere along.
One thing I'm noticing that's positive, I mean, it's definitely compressing, which I want. It's a tiny bit too aggressive for me. It might be better for some hard rock vocals. But it's smoothing out the mid-range. There's this kind of honkiness going on. There's a little bit of this raspy throat kind of quality that you're going to get from like a cheaper but slightly darker mic that it seems to be kind of smoothing out. So bypassed again.
You and I'm not sorry.
Like listen on the I'm not.
Been mean to you and I'm not sorry. Been mean to you and I'm not sorry.
Just a bit more pleasant.
I'm probably gonna be
I'll bring it down a bit more. Let's add the reverb back in.
And this might mean that you get lost.
A lot of reverb on this track.
Along the way.
And we're going to bypass
sure
again.
Someone else
We'll wait till it comes through and we'll bypass.
Place. And I've been mean to you and I'm not sorry.
Plug it on.
And I'm probably gonna be
It's just sucking this a little bit too much. Well, let's bring a little bit
this
less
might
low
mean
end.
that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your
Okay, let's listen in the mix.
And I've been mean to you and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again. This might mean that you get lost somewhere along the way. Well, I'm sure there's someone else who can take your place. And I've been mean to you and I'm not sorry. And I'm probably gonna be mean again.
So you kind of get the idea. Now, I think if I'd already flattened out the vocals a little bit and EQ'd them, the SweetVox might be better. It's not going to be triggering as aggressively on these loud sections, or if I automated it too. But yeah, it's doing something nice, but it is something I have to really finely tune. Now I want to go later in the song and try it on some harmony vocals. So we have these harmonies. I think they're going to straight to vocals. So let's go these harmonies here. So we have these harmonies. I've already put it on them. As you can see here. So this is without it. This is just soloed harmonies.
For now, I lay low.
And let's put it on.
For now, I lay low.
Off again.
For now, I lay low. For now, I lay low.
There's a bit of distortion going on there. I'm not sure what that was about. But around here, it does polish it a little bit.
For now,
Yeah, it seems to be modulating something there. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit.
for now, I lay low.
Okay, in the mix, let's bypass first.
For now, I lay
I'll just turn it up a lot.
For now, I lay low.
SweetVox on.
For now, I lay low.
A little bit sweeter there. But you kind of get the idea. I was hoping this plugin would be kind of the plugin you put on when you're not really mixing and you just want something to sound like it's already been mixed. But I think with the fine tuning, it isn't as adaptive as I'd like. It's a little bit too heavy-handed. It'd be nice if, I don't know, it can be a little bit softer in that compression. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's finally reasonable. Again, it's a free plugin, so I don't ask too much from it. But Sweet Drums to me was a lot better for its kind of intended purpose. But yeah, download it free. As with all Analog Obsession plugins, you can join the Patreon, but you can still get to the download links without joining the Patreon. That's just how it works. But there's a lot of Analog Obsession plugins that are awesome. So it is kind of worth joining the Patreon just to support, you know, the updates and making sure that bug fixes happen. I've done a lot of reviews on some of the best Analog Obsession. This to me isn't in the top of that range. It's still a usable plugin, but for me, I'd rather use like Channel V, maybe use a preset with that, which is basically a Neve. I'd be quicker at getting a nice vocal sound out of that than messing around with the process on this, to be honest, because that has saturation, EQ, de-esser, and a compressor, and you can control all of them, and it sounds great. So I'd probably go down that route, but for someone that's a bit of a beginner, this might get you results a bit quicker. Yeah, if you're new to the whole mixing thing. So thanks for watching. That has been SweetVox. I hope that has been helpful. Please like and subscribe. I ask this all the time, and the big reason is the majority of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and it means unless the video picks up for some reason with the algorithm, a lot of people don't watch it, or it takes a long time, whereas subscribers tend to get it fed to them just a little bit quicker because they're familiar with my videos, and just kind of, you know, helps get the videos seen. I mean, YouTube algorithm's just a complex thing that is sometimes hard to get your videos kind of seen by anyone. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.